Over the years, Funko has been the sole reason that the Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise scene has been insane. Funko has pumped out figurines, Funko Pops, anything you can think of, Funko will make merchandise of because they need a quick buck off anything they can do. And this shows because the quality of these things ranges from really, really cool statues to this. Anyways, Funko's main thing that they're known for is, of course, the Funko Pops. If you somehow don't know what a Funko Pop is, it's essentially just your normal character, but they're kind of chibi, but also kind of not. They have a tiny little body, but they're also really fat, and they have a huge head with these huge, disgusting, terrifying, big black eyes. And honestly, some of these are fine. I think the Funko Pop design overall is pretty ugly, but for an easy, quick, accessible figurine, they're pretty good. But these days, Funkos suck, and they have saturated the hell out of the market. Everywhere you go, you'll see walls and walls of these guys. It is outrageous. And of course, like many things, these have become a collectible, so they can become extremely expensive at times, especially with convention exclusives, like some of the ones we'll talk about today. Speaking of which, I thought it would be interesting to take a look at all the Five Nights at Freddy's pop vinyls that have come out over the years, from just the basic normal ones to exclusives and convention exclusives and stuff, because while Funko can still make Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, they actually lost a lot of their license and can't make anywhere near as much as they used to be able to. We're pretty much from now on only going to see Funko Pops and a few little things here and there, which honestly is probably for the better since Jazzwares have the master license now. If you want more on that, go watch this video, link in the description. Throughout this video, we're going to cover every single corner of Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pops, from the basic normal ones to glow in the dark to flocked to weird exclusives, you name it. So why not start off where the Funko Pops started off with their first wave, released in 2016. As you would probably expect, in this wave we saw the release of Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie the Bunny, Chica, and Foxy. So these molds are honestly pretty alright for their time. Foxy, Chica, Bonnie all look really good. The only thing that I don't like that most people agree on is that Freddy has his top teeth, which he definitely is not meant to have, but this is probably because they based it off the figurines, which also had them, which is a huge oversight on Funko's part that Jazzwares successfully got rid of immediately on their first try. This was something that bothered a lot of people about Funko for the longest time, so I get why people might not like this Funko Pop, but honestly, I think it's pretty alright, and it's charming since it's so old. Bonnie also suffers from some of Funko's weird habits, like he also has his upper teeth and also is a complete wrong shade of color. This will get corrected in later releases, but still for the time this was really annoying. It's also worth mentioning that the box art for Foxy definitely used a different mold entirely, and this is likely based off this fan model which was going around a lot at the time. This was all over merchandise that came out early on in Five Nights at Freddy's history. So it's interesting that they use that, but it's good that they changed it because I honestly really like this mold and I like this guy a lot. I still own him today and he's one of my favorites. I think out of all of these guys, Foxy came out the best because while other characters would receive new molds in later releases, Foxy actually never changed, showing that his design held up really well. We would also receive two exclusives, that being Freddy Fazbear, but he was flocked. This was a Barnes & Noble's exclusive, and we would receive a Foxy that glowed in the dark. This was at Toys R Us. We somehow didn't get a Golden Freddy in this wave, which I still think is so weird, but we did manage to get Springtrap, and I gotta say, he's a really good one too. I think he looks really good. He could have looked better, definitely, because comparing him to the actual in-game design, you can see a lot of differences that they could have improved upon. But honestly, I think this guy's pretty alright. And he would also receive two exclusives, that being a flocked version of Springtrap and a version of Springtrap that glowed in the dark. Keep in mind with Funko's glow-in-the-dark pop vinyls, they don't work most of the time, so if I show any photos or videos, they probably don't work. We would also receive a Nightmare Freddy pop vinyl, but for some reason we didn't get any of the other Nightmare characters until significantly later. I have no idea why this is, but they just decided to release him on his own for some reason. He also got a glow-in-the-dark exclusive, but again, probably didn't work. Anyway, just before I said that we didn't get a Golden Freddy, which was weird, but I actually completely lied, but also I kind of didn't. So we did technically get a Golden Freddy, but this guy was a convention exclusive, him being the first exclusive in the Five Nights at Freddy's Pop Vinyl series. I think almost everyone would have preferred if he was more of a solid yellow than an actual golden texture like the figurine is, because that's what he's like in the game. But I still think this guy is cool conceptually, and I think he's a rare piece today to collect. I actually don't have him, so there you go, you know, he's pretty cool. After that, we got our first Five Nights at Freddy's 2 pop vinyls, and they picked really weird characters. So first off, we got Shadow Freddy, which is just a purple recolor of Freddy. This guy's pretty cool, but I don't really understand why they picked Shadow Freddy of all characters, especially considering he's barely a character in these games. He's just an Easter egg. But yeah, Funko will be Funko. We would also receive a Shadow Bonnie, which is completely incorrect. He shouldn't be purple. He shouldn't be Five Nights at Freddy's 1 body, and that isn't even his name technically. But to be fair to Funko, we didn't know this at the time, so I can understand it. But I still think this is a weird figurine to make. Then we would finally get an original mold for a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 character when we received Toy Freddy. I actually think this guy is one of the best. He looks really good. He looks really accurate. They actually locked in for this one. But spoilers, this would be pretty much the only toy character they would ever make, and I really do not understand why. Toy Freddy would also receive an exclusive, that being another glow-in-the-dark. Instead of making something cool, they just made another glow-in-the-dark. I have no idea what Funko's obsession with glow-in-the-dark is. After this, we actually got a Funtime Foxy pop vinyl, and this is so strange because this was before Sister Location ever released. So this is a really strange release, but seemingly this is a fixed mangle because they just didn't want to make a mangle pop vinyl for some reason. Wink, wink. But they did make this, and it is a really weird one. They made a figurine of this one too. I still think this is such a strange character to make. I think it's meant to be fixed mangle, but honestly, I'm still not sure. And also, if it's a fixed mangle, wouldn't it be called Toy Foxy? Like, wouldn't that make a lot more sense? I don't really know. It's really strange, but whatever. Funtime Foxy would of course also get the flock treatment, even though these characters are meant to be like a plasticky material, so I don't really understand that. But then Funko just got obsessed with the Phantom Foxy character for some reason. I still to this day have no idea why. They made a plush, they made this. I'm shocked they didn't make a figurine, but yeah, so we got a Phantom Foxy figurine. This was literally just a recolor in like a shiny metallic disgusting green, which isn't even accurate because it should have been Withered Foxy if they were going to make it, and it should have been missing its arm. But you know, as you'll come to see throughout this video, Funko will be Funko. After this, Funko decides to actually lock in and finish off the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 waves. So we got Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Foxy, and we got a really cool Nightmare Cupcake, which I actually like a lot. We also got a Jacko Chica for some reason. I don't know what Funko's obsession with Jacko Chica was as well. They made a lot of merchandise for Jacko Chica, but we did get that. We also got a cupcake, which I think is really cute. And we also got this cupcake, which is really weird, and also our first Chase variant, which is pretty cool. I think this one is pretty hard to come by nowadays, so if you have it, kudos to you. I also want to quickly loop back around to Nightmare Chica. You might have noticed that the eyes are red and blue. This is because of this specific render where the lighting makes it look really strange, but Nightmare Chica's eyes are not meant to look like this. If they literally had looked at any other source material, they would have known this, but they went with that, and they did this on the figurine too. This is such a weird inconsistency and another Funko thing that Funko just loves to do. Funko would then go back to Five Nights at Freddy's 2 for some reason, even though that game was a few years old at that point, and make Balloon Boy. And I think this guy's hilarious because his box, he had to be turned slightly to the side because he was sticking out too much. I just think that's hilarious, but yeah. I think this guy's cool, but why did they make it so late, and why did they just make him on his own? Where are all his friends? After this, however, Funko decided to lock in with their order a little bit, making a consistent wave of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location figurines. So we got Baby, Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, Blora, and Bon Bon. We also got a lot of exclusives in Chase. We got a Jump Scare Baby and a Jump Scare Funtime Foxy figurine exclusive to San Diego, which is pretty cool. I really like these figurines. I wish they weren't exclusive. We would also receive a Jump Scare Ballora and a Jump Scare Funtime Freddy. Both of these were Chase figurines, so these ones are even harder to come by, which is just outrageous. We would also finally receive a Lolbit figurine. I actually have this one. I'm pretty sure it's pretty rare, but I think it's such a cool pop vinyl, and I think it's a cool concept that it's in a TV and everything. They actually kind of cooked with this one. And then, to close off the sister location wave, we finally got Jacko Bonnie. What the? Okay, They got it out of their system. They finally finished the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 wave after like 10 years. So surely now it's Withered Bonnie. They made Withered Bonnie. Honestly, I cannot be mad at this one. I love Withered Bonnie, and I thought this one was really cool, but this was also extremely hard to come by and is still really expensive to this day. But it was like our first proper Withered piece of merchandise, so I do think this guy is really cool. But this, wink wink, will not be the last time we see him, wink wink. From Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we also got a puppet figurine. This one's in a box, like coming out of it, and I think it's so cool. I actually really like this one. This one also wouldn't be the last puppet we'd be seeing. After this, we got a Dark Springtrap figurine, which still confuses so many people to this day. I don't remember where this information came out, but it turns out this was meant to be based off the Springtrap we see in that sister location cutscene for like half a second in the worst lighting ever. And honestly, it just shocks me that this was even his own form or anything. It's literally just Springtrap with like shiny green metallic paint. And just for that one guy that's going to mention it, yes, I'll talk about the golden Springtrap. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea why they made this guy, what context it was for, but I know this guy is kind of a meme, so here's your golden Springtrap part. I hope you enjoyed it. Around here is where Funko's pop vinyl line with Five Nights at Freddy's started to take a real dip, as evidence in the quality and the characters they picked and things like that. So we finally got our Five Nights at Freddy's 6 wave, and it mostly followed the characters that they picked for the figurines, but we also got some really weird and strange picks and exclusions. We started off with Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy, which I still think is pretty cool, but we never got a Chica or Foxy, which I think is super lame. We also never got a Scrap Trap or Scrap Baby or even Molten Freddy, which is just bizarre to me. Those are the coolest characters. But we did get Pig Patch, Orville, Mr. Hippo, and Happy Frog. And honestly, I cannot imagine these sold more than like 5. Who cares about these guys? Genuinely, like, these characters do not matter in the slightest. I don't know why they got picked. They also did a Helpy, which I think is really cool. I love Helpy, and that was a good pick. But I really don't get why they picked these guys and not like Chica or Bonnie or Scrap Trap. Like, that would have been so much cooler. We also got a Lefty, and he's Lefty. You know, there's not much else to say. It's just the same mold as Freddy, but different colors. So yeah, he's cool. But yeah, things went really downhill here, as this is where we finally got the horrid release of the Blacklight figurines. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about these guys because I really hate them. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know how much I hate these guys. Basically, they're recolors based on a cut part of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, where they were recolored in this way, but then they were taken out of the game because they probably realized how stupid it was. But it was too late because Funko had already made these, so they shipped them out. We got figurines of these guys too, and they're just so pointless and so dumb. Like, for a horror franchise, why are we getting Blacklight characters? And this trend didn't finish here. We also got a wave of tie-dye characters. This is even worse. What does Five Nights at Freddy's have to do with random tie-dye recolors? Like, who cares? And we got figurines of these guys too, and this was the one time we got a proper release of a proper Springtrap, and he's freaking tie-dye. This is terrible. I cannot believe this got through so many people, including Scott. Like, what happened? And to make things that little bit worse, they didn't even bother fixing the issues with the original wave. Freddy and Bonnie still have their upper teeth. Foxy's picture is still the wrong one. How did this get through? Genuinely how. I would love to talk to whoever was in charge and find out how these got through, because it is just kind of unbelievable. Sorry for the rant, but like, I just think these guys are so stupid. After this, we got the Twisted Ones wave, and honestly, I think these guys are designed really well, and I think they're really cool. I think the only thing they suffer from is the fact that they're the Twisted One characters. Like, nobody cares about these guys. Nobody cares about Wolf. Nobody cares about Theodore. Like, these characters do not matter. The books are great, but I don't think these characters mattered enough to get their own figurines. So I think this wave is just kind of stupid. But I hope you didn't think the stupidity ended there, because it gets worse. We got the Balloon and Circus wave, which consisted of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy as like little kids with balloons, and then clowns. We also got figurines of these, and you might be wondering, what game did these come from? Literally none. These characters didn't come from a game. They didn't come from anything, not a book, not a song, nothing. We don't know where these characters came from, and these things were shelf warmers for the longest time. I still see these to this day, and these came out years ago. Like, nobody wanted these damn things, and you can tell why. Like, they're not based on anything, they're not from anything, they're just like Funko's OCs. Why did we get these? Nobody asked, nobody wanted these. They're just another really stupid release. I really don't understand why they made these guys. And when you thought things can get even worse, we got more Blacklight figurines. We got a Freddy and Foxy exclusive to Hot Topic. I don't even know why I bother talking about these guys. Nobody cares. Nobody wanted them. Just make the Withers or the toy animatronics or something. It's not that hard. Things eventually did pick up though when we finally got these Christmas figurines, and I still think these guys are really cute. Though I think these guys are great. I think they're really cute. They're not from anything again, but they're still great designs that hold up really well, and I think they're really cute. I think they did well, and I'll give Funko the pass on these guys. And it's lucky I gave them a pass because things actually got better after this. We got an Eclipse figurine, we got a Sun and Moon, we got Shattered Chica, and we got Shattered Roxy. But for whatever reason, we never got like a normal Roxy, normal Monty, Glamrock Freddy. They were literally designs leaked of these guys, but we never actually got the pop vinyls, which I still think to this day is so strange because they would have sold extremely well. But we did get these guys, so that's good. Would have been really cool to get a Mimic, but oh well. We'll have to see in the future. They might do something. And now we've reached the final wave of Funko's pop vinyls. Five Nights at Freddy's ones. They're still making pop vinyls, don't worry. So with these ones, we got a 10th anniversary edition of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, which reflect their movie designs more than anything. And I think these guys are fantastic. Their colors are great, their sculpts are great. They finally locked in after 10 years, and it shows because these guys look great. I really like them. I've actually seen a few of these in store, and I'm really tempted to pick them up. I think they're really good. Funko, congratulations, you actually made them. It only took like 20 years. With this wave, we also got another puppet, which I think is really cool. This one's paint is notoriously bad around the tears, but I still think it's really cool. It's a bit lazy because they would have just reused the sculpts, but you know, it's still cool. We also got a Withered Golden Freddy pop vinyl, which I think is really cool. I think his sculpt looks really good, and he does look like Golden Freddy, and I like that he's sitting down this time instead of standing. But if they have this mold, why can't they just make Withered Freddy? Oh wait, they are! Okay guys, so I made a full video on this, so if you want to see more about it, click down below. But we do have a Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Foxy, and Mangle Funko Pop on the way. That is so exciting. I can't believe we're finally getting Withered merchandise after all of these years. So if you want to see more about that, click the link in the description. Anyway guys, somehow we've reached the end finally, and that is all of the Funko Pop vinyls that Five Nights at Freddy's have done. Hopefully we'll see more in the future. Hopefully they'll actually be good. I imagine we'll get more for the new movie coming out in December, but time will tell. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts on this, make sure to post them down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and if you don't, I'll kill you. Anyway guys, have a great night.